When selling your house, it's vital to check out what else is on the market so you can stay ahead of the competition.
Today, I'm in the leafy London suburb of Bromley, birthplace of H.G. Wells, author of The Time Machine. Fast forward to 2015 and the town is in the grip of a property boom. Prices have shot up 12% over the last 2 years, with the average asking price now just over 550 grand. IT whiz kid Tim, who's on the hunt for his first house with girlfriend Claire.
So, Tim, this is it. Big old move, this, isn't it?
It sure is, yeah.
Buying a house with the beloved.
It's a little scary, but yeah, no.
What must the property have?
It's got to have 3 bedrooms, ideally, and some outside space. But it's also really important to be near the commuter links. If it was a 2-bed, I think the price would probably have to be right.
Yeah.
We like modern, but we also like the period features.
Do you see this house being your home, i.e., are you going to have kids soon?
Maybe.
So this house, I guess, it's not the forever home, but it's the one to potentially have the first baby in.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a fair sum up.
OK.
For that 2 to 3 bed property with a good-sized garden, Tim has a budget of 450 grand. First up, it's NHS Secretary Caroline and best mate Jan. Caroline's 2-bed 20s terrace has been on the market for 9 months with just a handful of viewings and no offers. The trouble is, as Caroline is the first to admit, she's often got better things to do than doing up her house.
Weekends, I'm just normally out for lunch or out in the evening. So too busy partying. Yeah, too busy partying.
A theme that often continues at home.
I know the house very well. I've had many, many very daft nights here. It's a real party house.
Perhaps this has had a little effect on the state of the rooms.
I'm not much of a painter or decorator, and the dining room is basically the same colour that it was when I first moved in. I don't think that the bathroom's in a great condition. It definitely needs updating.
When she did have a go at decorating her bedroom, it was a sobering experience.
I decided I wanted a pink, and I was like, oh my God, it's like bubblegum pink.
Yep, that's shocking. And on top of that, Caroline and Jan clearly don't share the same taste.
I wouldn't decorate mine the same as Caroline's. Like, I have a purple bedroom, which I know Caroline would not like at all.
Perhaps maybe it's time to stop partying and start painting?
I'd like to get moving because I feel a bit like I'm in limbo land.
This colour-clashing 2-bed terrace lacks a coherent style. Caroline's DIY avoidance means that it also feels tired and in need of refreshing. It does have the period charm that Tim is after, though, and it's the cheapest of the 3 properties, on the market for £359,950. Next up, Welsh cabbie David. His 3-bed semi's had 15 viewings in the last 5 months, but no offers, which is a problem, as he and his wife Wendy are under pressure to move back to his native homeland.
We've been here for 10 years now, and we've had regular visits from family of mine that live in Wales, and they keep nagging me to go back.
Over the past decade, David's had a few attempts at finding the right style for his house.
We've gone from having feature walls in a certain colour, back to white, back to another feature wall.
He may have changed the wall colours umpteen times, but David knows he's overlooked the finer detail.
The skirting boards and the frames, I think maybe the finishing touches will have let us down a little bit.
But he has at least attempted to make the kitchen a bit more buyer-friendly.
We've replaced the sink unit, we've replaced the worktop. We've actually used all the existing carcasses and freshened them up to make them look a little bit more modern.
But they did commit one design crime during the refit.
The one thing that we didn't really think we were going to use was the side entrance. So that's where we put our sort of American fridge freezer to make sure that that was out of the way and wasn't actually causing any hassle.
Apart from blocking the back door, that is. This shabby 3-bed semi lacks a quality finish and feels tired. The recently replaced kitchen looks more make-do than modern, but it does have 3 good-sized bedrooms, which should please Tim. This is the most expensive of my 3 properties, on at 450 grand. Last up, it's company directors Hannah and Gordon. They bought this large 2-bed garden flat as a repossession 7 years ago. It was a complete wreck, and they've spared no expense renovating it.
Our lovely flat is, I think, a reflection on us. It's a really smartly done property.
But since baby Alexander came along, they've realised they might need to trade swanky for sensible.
We love it here, but it's just not conducive to a child, a small child, really.
This flat is set over 2 floors, giving it the feel of a house. Downstairs has a large modern kitchen, a smart lounge diner and an ensuite bedroom. Upstairs is the master suite, but it's been taken over by shopaholic Hannah.
Really, this is my area, my room. All my clothes are in there. He doesn't have any wardrobe space up there.
And there's one area that neither of them have frequented for quite a while.
The outside has been sorely neglected. In fact, I don't think I've been out there for years.
This smart city pad is let down by the master suite that's used as a storeroom and a jungle of a garden, which properly made over could be a real selling point to Tim. It sits in the middle of my 3 properties today, on at £435,000. Today I'm in Orpington in the London borough of Bromley, with 3 homeowners all hoping to sell their properties to our buyer, Cherry. A widower, she's looking to downsize to a more manageable property.
So, Cherry, why are you moving?
I need to downsize, not necessarily the size of the house. My house isn't pretty, but I've got quite a lot of land, big garden, and the trees. I mean, the trees, you know, 350 quid to trim this tree and that tree.
Too much.
So it's, you know, it's. I'm not in a position to keep having this endless fund.
What sort of house do you want?
I just need 2 bedrooms. I need a small garden and somewhere to put the car. My pet hate is seeing cars in a road, you know, head to toe. I know, I'm sorry. I hate that. I hate it.
You've had an offer on your house, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
For quite a while now.
Yes.
And are your buyers getting a bit twitchy?
He's getting twitchy, yes, bless him, yeah.
So you potentially stand to lose him if you can't find something quite
Yes,
quickly?
indeed, yes.
Are you planning a treat for yourself with any money that you have maybe left over?
I need to update my car. I fancy something possibly a bit racy.
A bit racing, a bit sporty. Good on you.
Yeah.
OK, so we've got to find somewhere for parking the new...
Yes,
the
exactly.
Lamborghini. Brilliant. This is going to be easy.
For her wish list and, of course, that sports car, Cherry has a budget of £365,000. First up is ex-banker Ian. He currently lives alone in his 2-bedroom semi, but plans to move in with fiancé Janice.
I have to sell, and I have to sell now, because we want a bit more room, but this is a nice place to live.
It might be nice according to Ian, but Janice has done her best to tone down his masculine tastes.
I think the house reflected Ian's personality when I first came down. It was a real bachelor pad.
Yes.
I gave up my job last August so that we could work on the house every day. And the neighbours came by and they went, "Oh, we know Janice has been here. There's flowers in the window."
The postman noticed the pot pouring.
Ian's bachelor pad has got 2 bedrooms and the manageable garden that Cherry is keen on. It comes in 20 grand under budget at £345,000. Up against Ian is retiree Carol. She's roped in daughter Caroline to help modernise the 2-bedroom bungalow she shares with her husband Edward.
There's things in the bungalow now that I probably would have done differently now. I think it reflects our personality.
Your home is very cosy and homely and reflects that well. Thank you.
It's been their family home for over 15 years, but they're now struggling with the upkeep.
There's things that if Mum and Dad were a little younger, they may have tackled refreshing some things.
This well-loved bungalow has 2 bedrooms and a good-sized driveway for my buyer, Cherry's sports car. It's on the market for just under £350,000. Finally, we have funeral director Peter and his wife Pauline. They have invested a lot of time and effort into their 1970s semi, but don't always see eye to eye when it comes to taste.
Peter likes things that I wouldn't even go, and the same with me, but there's always something that we both like, and that's what we go for in the end.
They've updated the style of the house. The trouble is they did it nearly 20 years ago, and it shows.
I think it's dated by its decor. It would benefit to drag that bedroom into the 21st century.
Yeah. Peter and Pauline's 1970s semi has 1 bedroom more than their opponents and an open-plan layout. It's also the cheapest at just under £300,000, leaving Cherry a whopping 65 grand to spend on her sporty runabout. Today, I'm in Sevenoaks in Kent. It's a town popular with London commuters, so no surprises that the average property price here is a whopping 75% above the national average. I'm helping 3 homeowners, all trying to sell their house to buyer Rebecca. Before she finishes her maternity leave, she wants to find a bigger home to accommodate her growing family with husband John and their 11-month-old baby boy.
We would really like a 3-bedroom house, preferably with some extra space for a study or a playroom and something with a nice big garden.
Okay.
We've got an 11-month-old baby. So
Baby has come along and changed everything.
Taken over the whole house. And something with parking would be great, because we park on the road at the moment and it's just proving to be a bit difficult with a baby.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to unload babies, prams, shopping and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Why do you think you haven't found what you're looking for yet? Would you say you're a tad picky, or would you say it's just the right one's not appeared yet?
I think perhaps we are a little bit picky.
Right.
And also, we aren't looking for a house to live in forever.
Right.
We're looking for something we can stay in for the next sort of 5 to 10 years, maybe hopefully grow our family.
Yeah.
And then move into something, our ultimate sort of dream home.
We can do this. This will be fine.
Okay.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Come on, let's go.
For her wish list, she has a budget of £450,000. First up, coffee shop and deli owner Robin. Having lived here for 6 years, he's finding it hard to leave behind a home of happy memories.
We fell in love with it straight away because it's quite quirky over all the floors. And I've started a family here, so I've had 2 young children here.
He's moved his wife and 2 children out and into rented accommodation in the hope that it would make it easier to sell, but that doesn't seem to be working.
I think anyone that comes into this property would make it their own pretty quickly. It can be different to anybody.
With 3 bedrooms and an additional basement room that Rebecca could use as a play area, it's definitely got the space she's after. And with it just shy of £400,000, it's 50 grand under her budget. Competing against Robin to sell their property are NHS nurse Jan and her retired husband Bill. They put their house on the market just a week after moving into it nearly a year ago.
After being here 10 days, I think it was, Jan decided that she didn't like it here.
But I suddenly had this realisation that this wasn't the place to stay.
Although she wants to leave, they're both fond of the house, but it could do with a bit of TLC.
I think it's a really homely house.
It does need a lot of work if you wanted to make it into a modern house. If you had a young family, it would be absolutely ideal.
Yeah.
At 3 bedrooms, it's got the space and it's got the large garden buyer Rebecca is after. This house is well under her budget at £375,000, leaving her 75 grand to put her own stamp on it. Our third competing sellers are Director of Finance Chris and his wife and full-time mum Julia. They've lived in their townhouse for 7 years, and now with 3 children in tow, they need to upsize.
It's a lovely house because it's in a cul-de-sac and there are lots of families in the road.
Such a lovely family home for us. Our 3 children being born here is just a massive part of our life.
At first glance, the house is in great shape, but after 5 weeks on the market, they still don't have a buyer.
I don't think anybody's going to be blown away by the style of the house.
I thought it would have sold within the first week. I'm really surprised that it hasn't.
It's in good nick, has 4 bedrooms and off-street parking, but it's the most expensive at £437,500.
All our sellers now get a sneaky peek at their rivals' houses so they can check out the competition and work out the best way to stay ahead of the pack.
A lot of motorway noise in the background, an awful lot of noise actually now I'm stood here.
It's a detached house, ours is mid-terrace, so straight away that's very appealing.
Mixed thoughts outside, but inside...
Because my house is clear of any furniture, you need stuff in a house so people can kind of get an idea of how the house would be if they lived in it, and that's where mine, I think, at the moment is falling short.
Having furniture in a house isn't a new concept, Robin.
Colour is a bit...
But it's fine for this.
It's fine
you
for...
wouldn't want it in your bedroom.
Yes, it doesn't seem as though it has a very feminine touch.
This is a man's study, this.
Yeah.
It's got all the looks, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Not struck on the car.
Even the views fail to impress.
Is it inhabited next door?
Ian's 2-bed semi is priced up at £345,000.
I'm not surprised it's that price because of the area.
I'm staggered.
Yes.
Compared to our house, we've got considerably more circulation space downstairs. That's an amazing, a staggering figure for this property.
So Peter and Pauline don't seem threatened at all, while Carol has taken some tips from the low-key colour scheme in Ian's bedroom.
I'm not a fan of the carpet.
No, me neither. It leaves a bit of attention.
In the living room, David learns about making the most of what you've got.
I mean, one of the things that I think looks a lot nicer in here than ours, it's got a lovely fireplace.
Up in the pink boudoir.
At the moment, I'm thinking something to do with Barbara Cartland.
I think you'd be better off not having it at all than having a sequin curtain.
Next door in the bathroom, it's more glum than glam.
This certainly needs tidying up. The grouting's quite dirty.
This house is on the market for $359,950.
With a bit of love, they would definitely get that. I've no idea why they wouldn't.
A lot of money for what you're getting. I'm starting to think that ours is actually very good value for money.
Mixed opinions on the price, but David learnt period features can be a real asset. Jan and Bill decided they wanted to sell their house 1 week after moving in, so as a result haven't carried out any major changes. It's got bags of potential, but the dated decor and the slightly unconventional layout of some of the rooms could be putting potential buyers off. Julia sees inspiration.
It's quite cosy. I love the wood burning.
Yeah, that's a great fireplace.
That's really nice. I do worry that our room feels a bit featureless because we don't have very much stuff in it.
Upstairs, something's caught their eye.
That's not to my taste.
I don't like these fitted cupboards, and I wonder whether they even, I don't think they shut.
Compared to my bedroom at home, I mean, this is more spacious, but it doesn't feel more spacious because it's thinner. You need to open the room out. It's 2/3 of the size at the moment. You know, it's a big plus point for this property because when you come in, it looks dark and a little bit old, and you come out here, it looks really, really nice. Missing a trick. Don't tell him that, though.
David has such an asset with this house. It is fantastic. It's got so much space and lots of rooms. But the trouble is this brown 1970s decor does make it feel like it's stuck in a bit of a time warp.
There's confusion in the kitchen.
The worktop is relatively new, but it just looks, again, a bit tired, the decoration.
Look, there's a door handle here.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. So that would be the door to get out to the back garden, and it's covered up by a freezer.
Outside, Hannah and Gordon can see the wood for the trees, unlike their own garden.
They've used their backyard much better than we have.
Yeah.
And upstairs, Caroline has an epiphany in the bedroom.
I guess when you walk in here, it is kind of pretty neutral, whereas when you walk into my bedroom, you are kind of hit with the pink.
This house is on the market for $450,000.
It's got loads of potential, but I wouldn't pay $450 for this.
What do you think of that?
I think that's well over the top.
The decor and poor finishing really lets this house down, and the rival sellers didn't think it justified its price tag. Hannah and Gordon now know that they must tackle their garden, while Caroline learnt that the princess pink in her bedroom is not that magical. Time to see what they make of the £375,000 price tag.
I do think that's a fair price, don't you?
Yeah, I was expecting probably a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, I think you'd have to spend a good £30,000 just making the house look nice.
I think they're being optimistic, but you never know, and it could be one heck of a property.
So what about the conservatory?
I don't like the dark wood, personally. I'd like it a little bit lighter.
Feels a bit temporary.
It's a bit garden shed, isn't it?
Not sure the shed look is what they were going for. Talking of gardens...
If there had been a fence all the way along there, it wouldn't even occur to you that there was a house next to you.
For putting somebody off from buying this property, I think more so the property on the left would put me off more than the one on the right.
Robin's property really does have a great amount of space, but since moving out, the empty monochrome rooms and the soulless garden really could do with having some life injected back into them to show the house off to its best potential.
You walk straight from the front door into a room.
Yeah, that's the only slight hitch.
Yeah.
It's difficult to picture how the room would look with furniture.
Straight away, where do you put your coats and your shoes?
Yeah.
And...
The lack of furniture is causing confusion.
Like the wallpaper, feature wall. I wonder how this room would feel with a king-size bed.
I would take the black down. I'd make it softer, a softer room.
Positive first impressions, but inside they're quick to change their tune.
As soon as you come in, my eyes went straight to the wallpaper.
Yeah.
And you can see the seams
My immediate reaction is, why is the paper coming off that end wall? And I noticed it's coming off quite considerably in the corner of the building. I'm wondering if we've got a severe damp problem here.
Oh, I don't like those walls, I'm afraid. Don't like the colour of them.
No.
They're just too dark, I think.
Like walls, which brings it out low.
You're on the limit with the furniture in the room. You couldn't do much more with it. I think this feels more cosy than the last place we looked at, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So again, Carol's bungalow gets a mixed response from her rivals, and just under £350,000, it's the most expensive of the three.
No. That makes me feel, I'm sorry to say it, but that makes me feel so much better, actually.
I am amazed to think
really.
that this is on the market with that sort of money.
So they all seem to think this house is overpriced.
I think it's a wake-up call, not to be complacent and think you've done it all, because you can always do something else.
That's spot on, Ian. Time to talk about just what you can do.
I would like to start with this room, with the kitchen and the conservatory stroke, sauna stroke. One of the competitors said it looks like a garden shed.
Really?
A swine. I don't think it's that bad, and I think the kitchen is a great size. What I think lets this room down is this.
It's a feature.
You could call it that. What would be lovely is to have it as a big open space. It needs to come out the window frame.
Yeah. I mean, I could take the frame out quite easily.
Do you mean just take the window part out or take the sink and everything out?
Oh, gosh, no, don't take the sink and everything out.
Right.
No, don't panic, just the frame. I think
Okay.
this is nice because it divides the two spaces, yet it still feels open plan.
Yeah.
In terms of painting it, I would suggest that you paint the wood in the conservatory a much lighter colour, because that wood is far too dark and it is sapping all the light.
I only just painted that. I did.
What, you did the colour?
I did the colour.
You won't believe the difference just by painting those walls, you know, the difference it will make to it.
He's in kitchen heaven.
I think this could be our sort of dream kitchen. This is very nice. I mean, we've got our freezer up against the side door, and it just seemed to be a very good idea to put it in that particular corner.
Unless you want to get out. Out the back, the rival sellers take a walk on the wild side.
And you can't really see yourself barbecuing out here, can you?
No, you can't really see yourself
Unless you want squirrel
doing
meat.
anything out here.
Inside, on the top floor, the rival sellers check out the master suite.
The rest of the flat is really modern, and then you come in here and it feels a bit of a dumping ground.
So, not very masterful then. Beyond that is the less cluttered ensuite and dressing area.
It just seems to be a bit of an empty space for me, that in a smallish flat, you'd think, well, what could we do with this?
I didn't realise how tired and dated my bathroom was until I saw this one.
No shame in it, Caroline. The idea's to learn. This house is on the market for £435,000.
£435,000 for a house that's a flat with a garden, that's a jungle. That is just so expensive.
It hasn't got a garden. I don't care if they're advertising it with one or not.
definitely
It
not a
doesn't have a garden.
Mind your head.
This wouldn't suit me.
No, it's okay for me. You're right.
Yeah. I think we should leave this room.
Yeah.
Oops, bit of a tight squeeze in there. And it's the same story outside.
We made use of what space they've got.
Yes.
It's a nice little sitting area, but that's about it, really.
Yeah. I would say our garden wins over this.
This is the second most expensive of the houses at just under 400 grand.
I thought this would be more. I thought this would be about 425 actually. But I think we got more of a realistic expectation of what we'll actually get.
Seems right.
Yeah. This is more of a contender against ours than the other one.
Well, let's find out, as last to be judged is Chris and Julia's contemporary four-bed. Julia and Chris's townhouse has got an unconventional layout, but it does have a vast amount of space. And they've decorated some of the rooms beautifully, but a couple of the main areas could do with that wow factor. Upstairs, Robin's beady eye spots a problem.
Up in the corner here, they've definitely had water, ingress, a damp or something like that. Just give it a lick of paint and get rid of it. If there's no problems with it, get rid, because I know I'd be on that if I was looking at this property.
I think these are a bit old-fashioned actually for me.
It could be space, you know,
yeah.
sort of space.
Yeah.
Indeed, they're dated, but same goes for yours, Jan.
There's a lot of steps, and with kids, It seems slippy and full of sharp edges, and I would feel safer having mine with children than I would with this.
So all our sellers have seen each other's houses and they now have 1 week and £1,000 to make those critical changes to beat the competition. With the first coat on in both bedrooms, Carol can stand back and admire.
I've chosen the wrong colour.
Or not.
I'm disappointed now it's up. I think it's cold looking.
So a change of heart means a change of colour for the top coat, but luckily Caroline's got a solution.
That one you think was too dark,
dark.
and that one you think was too light. So we've mixed them to go for something in between.
Too dark, too light, but just right is a mix of the two. Next job for Carol is maximising the space in the living room by clearing out the oversized furniture.
Yeah, it just feels so much brighter and bigger and spacious. All we're waiting on now is for the carpet to come.
The big thing about selling houses is that the majority of people can't visualise a space. And that's what some of your competitors said. They came in and thought, oh, well, I can't really see what this is for.
We just stripped it bare. I just thought it's as clinical as possible. It's easy for someone to move into really quickly.
You can walk somebody into a bedroom, but if there's no bed in there, they say, well, what's it for? Now, there are two different routes for you to go down in terms of furnishing it. You can beg, steal, borrow, bring stuff that you've already got in here. There are companies that will come and dress houses for you.
Problem is, if I see it really nice, I might not want to sell it. I'll just move back in. I'll move back in again.
I want to go upstairs to the bedroom now.
Okay.
Which is not something that you hear every day, but come on.
I'll follow you. I'm coming.
Come on then.
I'm coming.
Easy tiger. Black flock wallpaper is quite a distinctive choice.
It was okay back then.
I bet it was.
Probably slightly changed now in fashion terms.
I would like to see it gone.
Okay.
I'm not going to say strip it off, you can just paint over it. I quite like the sort of dark greys. Go bold.
Yep. So still keep a feature kind of wall.
Keep the feature wall, yeah, absolutely. Just not this pattern. What you have in this room, two enormous wardrobes, what you don't have in this room is a bed.
Yep.
Now, I think it's much more important to have a bed in a bedroom. You just need to make it feel like a proper home.
Okay, bit of a wow factor as well.
Yeah, and get rid of them wardrobes.
Do you want to give me a hand?
You've got no chance. See these muscles? There's nothing there. Caroline has a really charming and cosy house, but she is not making the most of it in terms of the decor. The dining room is very dark. The bathroom feels quite damp and a little bit dingy. And this bedroom is way too girly and way too sparkly. I think she needs to tone it all down, bring in a cohesive scheme, and hopefully we will finally get a sold board outside. Now, this room you've not touched since you moved in, have you? Okay.
We do have a lot of parties in here, and I just sort of think there's no point doing it up because it'll just get all messy.
How many people do you get in it?
Oh, God. About 30-odd.
What do you think of it, Jan?
To me, I just have happy memories of this room because it is such a
You two have
party
been drunk
house.
here loads. Yeah. In party time, which is great. And you know what? You have a lovely house. I think what frustrates me about it is that it's crying out for an injection of oomph.
Yeah.
I think you could make it feel like that lovely sort of girly country cottage feel. Now, this is quite out there, this wallpaper, but I think it's very beautiful.
I actually quite like it because it is kind of a bit
vintagey.
Yeah.
So you do that across the chimney breast, and then you take one of these lighter colours here, and you paint the rest of the wood. So it's like a sort of country cream, which will instantly lighten it up.
Really, really awful. It's horrible. If we were going to stay, we were going to rip the whole bathroom out and obviously retile it and everything.
Yeah. Well, retiling is something that I think you should do, definitely. Now, one way of doing it is obviously to take all of these off and retile it. Another way of doing it is just tiling onto tiles. Now, that's going to be a much cheaper and much quicker option.
Okay.
Get that down,
And
get that down.
Get rid of this, because this is all right, isn't it?
It is all right, but no, it's lovely.
that.
But again, you don't need it because it's in the way. It's, if you think trying to sit on a toilet,
It's in the way all the time.
it's in the way.
She doesn't realise that I do because my legs are longer.
I think I'm winning Bill over. One last small suggestion. Let's look at the bedroom.
For me, it feels like a bit of a corridor. It's very long and narrow, isn't it?
Yes.
Coupled with that big wardrobe there, it sort of makes the whole room feel quite small. That thing behind you is a monstrosity.
It's horrible.
It's a monstrosity.
Yes.
What you need to do is get rid of it.
So you're looking at one wardrobe in here?
Yeah, but I think you could do that.
Joking. I'm just thinking where it's all going to go.
We'll find somewhere.
There you
Sort
go.
something
See,
out.
that's the attitude.
Yes. We've got people coming to help. We've got friends.
Brilliant.
Yes,
You
we've
won't
got
have after
lines
a
up
week.
now.
They'll hate you at the end of the week, but you've got some friends for now.
Friends at the moment, yes.
Perfect. There is no escaping the fact that this house is practically on the motorway. They've got quite a tough job to get buyers through the door, and once they're through the door, the house has so much potential. But I think that Jan thought she could just put it on the market and it would sell straight away. Well, that clearly isn't the case. They need to embrace these changes, and I'm sure we will get them a buyer.
When did you decorate this?
Never. Right. When I moved in, it was very blue, and I loved it because I had blue in my old bathroom.
I don't dislike the colour, but I think that it jars with the rest of the house. And if we're going to go for that sort of vintage cottagey feel,
Yeah.
this isn't. I want you to make this into a very contemporary, modern bathroom. The biggest job of all is getting these tiles off. This isn't damp, is it? But 70% of buyers that walk into this bathroom and see that will think it's got a damp problem and they're out. They've got to
They've got to come off.
So fabulous sort of metro green tiles running all the way round. Lighten it up. Get this blue out. It's
I've got a
to
year
go.
to do it.
No, you've got 7 days and 2 other rooms as well. What's quite odd is that Caroline's a really bright, bubbly person, yet that's not reflected in the house. It feels rather drab and quite uninspiring. I'm fully aware that I've given them an awful lot to do in the next 7 days, so they need to stop the partying and start the painting.
Having it dressed and really kind of getting on with the quirkiness and some of the features of it, I think it's pretty much guaranteed to win. I've got to be honest with you, I'm giving myself a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but only if you do what needs to be done. And I have one tip to show Robin the potential in the garden. So I have some rope.
Okay.
This is not some kinky game, so don't get
Oh,
excited.
really? Okay.
What I'm going to do with the rope is just show you how you can define areas. You know, you can get the sort of long rectangular sofas that sort of do this. So you have a corner sofa somewhere like here,
Right, got you, yep,
like that. Here's your dining table.
yep.
Your dining table there with 2 chairs, just one of those little bistro tables.
Yep.
But can you see what I mean by just defining the areas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't impede that much on
No.
the space, and I think showing that will definitely give people an idea
Yeah.
that it is a lot bigger than they think it is.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm on your sofa. There's your dining table over there.
I want to have a croissant.
You have a
coffee,
croissant
I'm
over there, and
chilling,
I'll just sit
I'm
here and
fine.
read the papers. Sorted.
Perfect.
Enthused, Caroline gets straight to work in the dining room, and the first thing to go is the carpet that's seen many a party, which is hiding original floorboard treasure.
I didn't even know that there could have been just a hole in the middle of the floor for all I know.
But this old good time gal isn't going to change her ways that easily.
So here goes the old party memories, ready for new party memories.
Well, this is farcical. What do you have to say for yourselves?
We're both a disgrace.
Yeah.
Outside space in London is just so desirable.
Yeah.
And you've got this wonderful asset here that literally you can't see.
No, we just haven't used it. We haven't had a purpose for it.
Yeah.
It just needs to be a practical, functional space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get somebody in to clear it. Ow! Completely! I've just been stabbed by a thorn. Ow! So you get someone in to start with that thorn bush and clear the rest of them. What you need to create here is a sort of eating area and an area for relaxing. And so I would suggest a patio area and then turf an area.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of work, and I pity the poor gardener that takes this on.
He'll earn his money.
He certainly will.
If you want to be really brave, and I love this, I think this wallpaper is fabulous, that you do something like that.
I think, why not? If you're going to do it properly.
You could think about maybe painting some of the walls in this lovely soft duck egg blue.
Yeah.
And if you're going to use a wallpaper, take that wallpaper and continue it through there, maybe around that window, just to frame it and balance it out. Who's going to do the work? Because you've got a baby downstairs who's 4 months old.
I'm very good at maybe calling a few people. I'm certainly try and chip in where I can, but I've got to work.
It's a great apartment. It feels very luxurious, but it also feels really cluttered. They've just got too much stuff on display. And I can honestly, hand on heart, say, I have never seen a garden like that, particularly because it's being marketed as a garden flat. They've got to sort it out. They really have, because otherwise they're going to be here for a very long time, and that family home will prove rather elusive.
I wanted it to be nice and bright.
You can absolutely see that this is a bloke's room. The colour on the walls has to go. I think what needs to happen with this room is you need to redefine it as a bedroom again.
Right.
So now is a good time to go through all the CDs, all the books, get them all packaged up, get them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you good at clearing out his stuff?
I'm a bit of a hoarder,
Oh,
actually.
you God, no! What am I doing?
That might come in handy. That might come in handy.
Yes, at your next house, but not here. Stay with me, Janice, as I've got more to say in the garden. I know the feedback has been predominantly about the garden, hasn't it? What have people said?
Well, they've said that they don't like the views on that side, and they've said that people have been saying they don't like the windows there.
And I can see that, because that is quite intrusive. I think you need to think about screening this area off. Likewise with that side, it might be worth thinking about investing in some trellising to cover up that as well.
Yeah, we want to do something here because that's the feedback that we've had.
But this is the thing. What you want to do is draw the potential buyer's eye that way, not that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
Easy. I really feel for Janice. She's put in so much time and effort getting this house ready to sell, but they've overlooked two major areas, the kitchen and conservatory and the overlooked garden. They both need a major overhaul if they've got any chance of trying to sell this house. Are you sure, Ray? Are you sure you're OK with this? Keep your eyes closed until I've done it, and then it'll all be over. Can you see where I'm at with this, Janice, or are you...
I can see it's lightening it considerably, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, it'll only take you about, what, 4 days? Yeah. 4 of the 7 days I've given you.
Can I just get a roller?
No. It's a very rough bit, but you can see instantly. You imagine the whole of that wall and that wall. Perfect. I'll leave you to it then.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
Cheers,
Thank
Amanda.
you very much.
You're welcome.
How are you feeling, Janice?
Not very happy.
But no sooner have I turned my back than Ian and Janice come to a more drastic decision about the wooden walls.
We're going to take it all down anyway. And I know we're going to go well over budget, but it's about trying to get it right.
Before I go, I think they could do with some help sorting out their clothes to get rid of that massive wardrobe. So I think now is the time to strike while the iron's hot, and we'll start decluttering the wardrobe. I'm just going to. Do you mind? I'm not going to find the rubber catsuit in here, am I? Because if I am, I'm putting it back again. Let me grab a handful of your shirts. How many yellow shirts does one man need? Another one here, look. If you're being really ruthless, all of your yellow shirts go to charity. That's what I would suggest doing, is that you have...
Where they come from.
You have 3 piles. Well, send them back there then. 3 piles. You have a charity pile, you have a storage pile, and you have a put back in the wardrobe pile. You've got to half it, at least half it. Good luck with it. Thank you. I shall leave you to it, my darlings, and let you crack on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the most daunting thing at the moment is getting rid of the clothes, because I think you always think you may want it.
Let's get sorted then. Let's start now. Right, let's go.
Let's have a look.
That's it, you two. No pain, no gain. Painful clothing decisions made, the beast of a wardrobe is dismantled by their son, John.
Man's thing, isn't it? Definitely a man's thing.
Or should that be demolished?
All 4 of your foliage parts need to go. It doesn't really say abundant floral display. It says a sort of, I'm a bit tired and jaded.
It is one of my very weak points.
Yes. You can get those wonderful big coloured ceramic pots. Get a big one there with a big feature plant, something like a bay tree, something that will really stand out and make a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Also, along there, can you see all the sort of moss that's growing?
Yeah, yeah.
Just up there with a ladder, hot soapy brush, give it a good old clean off.
Right, okay.
That's all you need to do. It's just making it look a little bit more attractive. There is one thing that I want to point out in this room. The stain on the ceiling. Because what it does, you look there and you think, oh, there's a problem, there's a damp problem.
Yeah, I'd not noticed that.
We hadn't noticed that.
Yeah.
You need to just check that the guttering isn't full of leaves and things.
Yeah, okay.
You can also buy a product called Stain Stop, which literally does what it says on the tin.
Really?
It comes in a little spray can, you squirt it on and it stops the stain seeping in. You probably need about 2 or 3 coats of it, and then just paint over it and it'll be as good as new. This is a great house, but it has the potential to be a fantastic family home. I just feel that with 3 young children and very busy lives, that it's been a little bit neglected in parts. The living room is crying out for a makeover, and once it's done, it's going to make a big difference to the saleability of the house.
And I've a few wallpaper samples to whet those taste buds.
So what I wanted to bring you was a good selection, and then we can just put them up against the wall and work out if there are any of them that you think, oh yes. This is a 1960s, 1970s townhouse.
60s,
so you can get away with that whole retro print. So let's put them up against the wall. What do you think of that one?
I don't dislike it, which
That's
is normally where we get to.
Okay. That one?
Prefer the green.
So if you like this, you could pick up linen curtains like this. Something with a real pop of colour, like a raspberry pink for the cushions, would really make this stand out. But I really like this. This is the kind of safe version. Quite a geometric one. I mean, we talk about sort of 1960s, 1970s. But what a good thing to do would be, stick them all up across the wall and live with it for the rest of the day and work out which one you like the best. I have a feeling you might go towards the more sort of leaf patterns.
Yeah.
You also want to get someone in to do that, don't you, Chris? Definitely not a job for you. No. And on that note, I shall leave you with it.
Okay,
Pass
thank
over
you.
the baton, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Julia's off to the shops to look at soft furnishings and to purchase her new favourite wallpaper.
So I'm here to have a look for my wallpaper, and I'm just going to have a little nose around, seeing if there's any cushions, and feeling quite inspired now, so going to go and have a little nose.
I can't wait to get cracking now, get the bed in, get it dressed. This house is going to fly off the market.
We have to declutter a bit. I think the room could do with a freshen up in terms of painting.
Yes, oh, I quite agree.
The other thing is the carpet. You just need something very plain and very neutral. You will see it will just freshen the whole room up.
Yes. Oh, yes, I quite agree.
Yeah.
Carol loves her bungalow, but she needs to give it some TLC, especially in the second bedroom.
Let's talk about the big problem that I see in here, and that is that corner that's directly behind you. It's one of the big things that stops people buying houses is if they think that there is a damp problem here.
Do the same.
I would suggest getting a professional in to have a little look at it and give you some advice. That needs to look in tip-top condition. I would say dress this as a double bedroom. I would say get a double bed in here.
We did have a double bed, didn't we?
You do have a
We do have a bed.
You have everything in the
As
garage.
luck would have it.
Yes, in the garage, yes.
Probably got 2 or 3 of them.
I think that this one probably is definitely the one that you need to.
Oh,
you
yes,
need to
I'm
think
really
about.
quite excited about it.
Good.
Quite excited? That's good enough for me. I've also got one last suggestion that will help make Carol's master bedroom feel much bigger.
Carol doesn't have the biggest house in the world, but her use of colour and the enormous amount of enormous furniture she's got in there makes it seem even smaller than it actually is. I think with a bit of painting and an awful lot of rejigging, this little bungalow could have some very big results.
We have got a lot of work to do. If we can rally the troops, we can do our darndest to get as much done as we possibly can, if not all.
And the first troop to rally is Simon. He's the man who can diagnose the cause of Carol's peeling wallpaper. So is it damp?
In actual fact, it's just condensation. It's the heat exchange from outside coming through. There's actually no damp here whatsoever. It's bone dry now.
This is great news and means that a simple paint job will solve the problem.
Definitely no issues with damp here because I'm having a job to get it off the wall in the first place.
It's going to be hard work and we're going to be shattered by the end of it. But I'm sure that it's going to be fun as well.
At least she's smiling, for now.
What do you think this decor says about you and your style?
It's very clean and neat and quite pristine.
OK. It needs an injection of warmth in here. At the moment, it feels quite stark.
Right.
It's a bit muddy and a bit brown.
Yeah, look around. I can't argue you, can I? Even the curtains.
Even the curtains. The wedding photo, as beautiful as it is, and I love that dress. That dress is amazing.
And the suit?
Oh, and the suit, obviously, that goes without saying. It's very in your face. There's probably slightly too much. I think what would work better on there is a big mirror.
That's absolutely fine. We like that.
Yeah. What would look beautiful in both rooms is a lovely, fresh spring colour. I mean, does that absolutely make you want to vomit, or do you like it?
I don't mind it at all.
And then what you do is you take this as your inspiration.
So far, so good.
How would you feel about painting the brickwork? Because you would be amazed at how painting that white would really make it stand out.
Painting white is fine,
Paint it white. Have you got an army of people lined up?
No. Me and Wendy, when she comes home.
No resistance from David there. Let's see if he's as easygoing in the tired kitchen next door.
When you walk in from the dining room, the first thing you're hit with is the TARDIS that is the fridge freezer. It is enormous.
But there was a reason for that.
Go on, I love these
To hide the door.
Ha! Because what everybody else said was, why did they put a massive fridge in front of the door?
We never used that door. We didn't want that as a working door.
So, sacrifice a couple of these cupboards or one of these cupboards and get just an under-counter small fridge and freezer, and then it's just decluttering.
We knew the declutter was coming.
So once you've done all of that,
Guilty, yes.
we can tackle the decor.
Yeah.
Well, what I think you should do is lighten it all up. Again, it feels quite tired and quite dated in here, and it's got the potential to be a real asset. Just to show you, because this is one that we've already painted, but look how much brighter and fresher. It's a lot of painting, though.
Oh, painting is fine.
And now let's talk about introducing more colour as well.
Yeah.
So basically, everywhere where there's tiles here, yellow ones, that big range cooker, it's crying out, I think, for something like that. You're going to need to call in quite a few people, I think.
That's the bit that gives me a bit of hope, actually, is the fact it's not just me.
Perfect. Well, you get a man who can, and I shall look forward to coming back in a week.
I shall see you in a week.
I genuinely believe it's the decor that's letting this property down, and he needs to tackle it and tackle it fast. And there's going to be an awful lot of painting in the next week.
I can help with the cull, get rid of a few things.
It's not a cull, it's just storage.
You sure?
We're not getting rid of anything.
Of course, I'll get into trouble with Hannah because I'm throwing too much stuff away, but look, I can only... Nothing, don't worry.
That can just go in there because we need that.
Oh, we need it.
Yeah, we do.
I see, just checking.
Bedroom cleared, Hannah checks in on the landscapers who are working furiously to clear that jungle of a garden.
It's the first time it's been touched properly in about 7 years, I think.
Really? You do surprise me. And with so much to do, Caroline's hosting a painting party. But she seems more interested in the party than the painting.
Luckily, I've got amazing friends and neighbours who have helped me out.
She paints like a toddler.
Painting pup Caroline does pick up a roller and join in the party.
I had a go and I got more over me than I did over the walls.
David admires the new tiles as they go up, and he's added his own twist to my original suggestion.
So what we've gone for is a white, bright background with the blue tiles interspersed, just to give it that little wow factor.
The wow factor that will hopefully sell your house, David.
At the end of the day, the garden is an extension of your home.
I think it just highlights by neglecting the backyard, we're really shooting ourselves in the foot.
Back at home, the gardeners have cleared the jungle and uncovered a forgotten patio.
Oh God, that's amazing. And now that it's all been cleared, it's really quite a nice little area, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Shame it's been buried for 7 years. Caroline has decided, in for a penny, in for a pound.
I wasn't really quite sure about it going on all the walls. I thought maybe just the feature wall, but now I think it will look really nice going on all the walls.
While decorator Brian cracks on in the bedroom, Caroline and Jan head to an antique shop in search of accessories to complete the vintage look.
That's going to go in the bathroom. I love that.
That would
Do you
go
like it?
over your bathroom sink.
Yeah.
I
want to hang it up now.
We need to paint the walls first, Caroline.
And not forgetting a few plates to complement the shabby chic look in the dining room. At Julia's, she turns her attention to the sitting room by removing those heavy red curtains.
Wow, actually that looks loads bigger, doesn't it? The view from the window seems much more as well. You can see much more garden, and the blinds look better, and my windows look nice. I'm actually really pleased.
Curtains down, decorator Debbie cracks on with the wallpaper. Whilst the walls take shape, Julia turns her attention to that stain caused by blocked gutters, which they've now cleared. She's using an aerosol stain guard, which costs as little as £14 to touch up that unsightly stain. After a hard day at work, Chris is home to admire his new walls.
So far, so good. I think it looks terrific. It's really freshened up the room, and I like the colour.
I wish we'd done it 7 years ago.
Outside, Chris scrubs the moss off the front of the house with a little help from their children, Charlotte and Samuel.
It's a bit unsightly. We want to improve the curb appeal.
Then it's the simple task of potting the bay tree.
This looks quite classy outside the front door, doesn't it?
Whilst I've got them on side, I want to show them how they can take inspiration from everyday items already in their home.
I happened to find an ornament. This would work really well as inspiration for the whole of this room. These kind of colours work really well together. So you've got the sort of sage green here. This is the sort of cream colour that you've already got on the top of the wall, so that's sorted. And then these lovely kind of natural linens and the slightly darker colours. I mean, paint charts now are brilliant. Use them the way that they... If you see, like, with this one, for example, they've grouped them all together. So take 2 or 3 of the colours and use that as the inspiration for the entire room.
This is what we needed, someone to tell us in which direction to go. We've lived with this quite comfortably for 15, 20 years, and it's not till somebody comes in and turns the light on, shall we say, that we can take it forward ourselves.
Can't wait, really.
Excellent. Let's get this place sold.
Now they know what they're looking for, Peter and Pauline head straight for the paint shop. But colour choice doesn't come easy.
What about that one? That's a nice colour. I thought it might be that one there, is it? So is that the one you're looking at?
It's pebble.
Yeah. What'd you do with the curtains? Did you do the curtains that colour?
Well, darker.
I'm starting to understand why they've left it so long to redecorate.
What, that one?
Probably
A
dark.
bit pinky, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit pinky, that one.
That's more the colour, isn't it?
Eventually, we have a decision. If they painted the wood themselves, it would have cost around £100. Doing it this way is costing around £2,300. Upstairs, Ian's mate Ken has started work losing the garish yellow in the study.
It's advisable to paint the ceiling first, because if you drop anything, it goes on the walls. You're going to paint the walls afterwards, so you'll cover that. Tea, yes, please. That'd be very nice.
Good to see Ian making himself useful. They're now fitting panels along the other side, so the garden is no longer overlooked. Cost of materials around £430.
I'm supposed to be helping me.
Yeah, I'm assisting. That one goes next, Ken.
Thanks, yeah.
And Janice is happy.
That makes such a difference. Well done, Ian.
Not a natural DIYer, are you, Ian?
Pinch the end of the grass together.
Yep.
That's just to make sure it doesn't dry out. And if you would like to just take a walk on that.
Fine, and push it down.
Yep, we'll just flatten it all out.
I'm exhausted from all this. As far as looking after it going forward, what do I need to do?
Water it for 10 days, stay off it for 2 weeks, and you can't cut it for about 2.5.
I've got no problem with not cutting it.
Yeah, we know that, Gordon. Time for the all-important finishing touches.
I won't have to worry about the party stains downstairs now, as now it's wooden. And also, there's not as much furniture in there now, so there's more room to dance.
That looks amazing. Oh, it makes the room look so much bigger. That black wallpaper was rubbish.
Next, Robin's shopping for new fencing. A pair of panels this size cost around £70, and luckily he's got a van to take them home in.
It's not going to go in like that.
That's not going to go.
Hey, the other way.
It's got to be a centimetre.
I've got room this end, you push that in.
Believe me, look, it's not going anywhere.
You did measure up, didn't you, Robin?
Well, I could just smash it to bits and put it in pieces. That would make me feel better right now. We'll have to put the fence panels on the roof.
When he finally gets the fence panels home, the old shabby panels are removed and the replacements fitted. Then Robin adds his £500 worth of garden furniture.
Got it. This is a whole really cool, entertaining space. I'm really happy with it. I think it ticks the boxes from what Amanda was really wanting.
Next, it's time to deal with the lack of furniture. Robin and his mate Paul are off to a house a couple of streets away to collect a bed he's bought online for £60. What was once a dark and unwelcoming space is now a bright, homely place to sit and enjoy the sunshine.
I cannot believe how different this space looks.
It's amazing, isn't
It's
it?
unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. How delighted are you?
Very.
Over the moon. Really over the moon.
It's incredible. It really is, because obviously, you know, the easy option would have been just to paint over the wood.
Yeah.
But to strip it all back and replaster it, I mean, what it's done now, sort of standing here and looking out, particularly by removing the door and the window frame, it's just opened up the space, hasn't it?
Isn't it?
The incredible thing about the garden is just by putting those panels up there and putting the new panelling at the end there is now you look at the garden and the fields, you don't look at next door's windows.
Well, that's what we wanted to achieve. We didn't want solid panels there.
No.
I think it looks incredible. Can we go and have a look upstairs?
Their conservatory was drab and cluttered, with a dividing screen splitting the room but leaving the mess clearly visible. Now, with a sage green colour scheme and curtained-off clutter, it's a clear and open space.
Wow. It looks unbelievably different. And it feels like an extension of the garden now. When you started it, did you have the vision in your head of how you wanted it to look, or did it kind of evolve?
No, it sort of evolved. Yeah, it did evolve. I didn't realise how awful it was until you came round and was saying, look at that, look at that. I think, God, you're right, it's terrible.
It wasn't awful, but I think what happens is you just get used to a
Yes,
space, don't you?
yeah.
Can we go and have a look at the bathroom? Because that was the big one, wasn't it?
Yes,
the bathroom was kind of
bathroom,
like, what on earth are you going to do with
Yes.
this in the space of a
Yes,
week? Come
yes.
show me, lead
Okay,
the way.
thank you.
The bathroom was dark and tired with old-fashioned tiles and dated pine. Now with a fresh layer of tiles on top of the old and a lick of paint to the wood, they've a clean and refreshed room.
My goodness me. It's like a completely different bathroom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before with the tiles, it
Yeah,
was really
and all the
dated
pine.
and the pine and this is the same cabinet, isn't it? You
That's
just
the
painted
same,
it,
yeah,
stripped
painted
it back and
that.
paint- Please, Bill?
Very pleased, yeah. Very nice.
It's a really good room.
Yes.
The bathrooms and kitchens, people want clean, fresh and tidy, which is exactly what this is now. It looks absolutely fantastic. Can we look up in the bedroom? Of course we can. 'Cause this is the bit that I'm looking forward to, the transformation upstairs.
The bedroom was cluttered and dominated by that giant wardrobe. Now it's a peaceful, bright space.
Wow!
This is good, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, yeah. So all of your clothes have been condensed into that?
Yes.
Wow.
You really have gone for it.
Let me just have a quick peek. Look at that! Wowzers. Where have all your clothes gone, Bill?
Well, we're sorting them out for charity and boot
Right.
fairs, so yeah.
So did you find the charity pile got bigger than you thought initially?
I was really strong.
Have you been ruthless?
I have.
How many
I had-
shrubs do you own now?
No, I've only got rid of one, actually.
Not that ruthless.
The green one.
All the little touches like the throw, the cushions, it just feels really homely. You've done a brilliant, brilliant job. I am quite blown away, actually. I wasn't expecting to see it looking like this, I have to admit.
The dining room felt tired and uninviting. By redecorating with a pretty vintage wallpaper and revealing the floorboards, it now has a beautiful country cottage ambience. Total cost £196.
Floorboards, floorboards! Wow! Oh, wow! Oh, it's gorgeous! Love the floor. Got to be dead chuffed with that.
It's the only thing that I actually did all by myself.
And the wallpaper, it's a really pretty, girly paper. Now, you were originally just going to do the chimney breast, weren't you? What made you spread out?
Just thought it'd look better all the way across the walls.
It really does,
It
doesn't
does
it?
look lovely.
So you had lots of friends around for a painting party, I
I did,
understand?
yes.
Was that pre or post opening the wine?
Both.
It's so much lighter and brighter and fresher. I love it, absolutely love it. Let's get upstairs and have a look at the other two rooms.
Next door, the bathroom jarred with the rest of the house, but the fresh new colour scheme now blends perfectly with the vintage look everywhere else. Total spend, £631.
What a difference in here.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
For a lot of people, particularly if they're buying at the top end of their budget, if they see a bathroom that they think you've got to rip out, A, the hassle factor, and B, the cost factor would just make them run a mile. And they don't have to rip this out now. So the party house, I guess, is gone. No more parties in here until you sell it.
Not sure.
You've got to keep it looking like this, though. Do you feel more confident about getting a sale now?
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, it's like a completely different house. Everyone's going to walk in and just go, wow. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's so much brighter, isn't it?
Completely, we feel it totally. We just can't believe it. And if you look around, you'll see practically all the things you suggested.
Yeah, that's come up a treat.
That was the first thing we started on.
Somehow, just by adding all these little soft furnishings and different touches, it just makes the room feel much more welcoming.
I'm smiling thinking about it.
Are you pleased?
Please doesn't even cover it. It's just unbelievable.
I think it's wonderful. I'm dying to see this kitchen.
Despite the cupboards being modern, the mismatched tiles and the dark colour scheme made it feel tired and shabby. But that's all changed with a clear out and fresh new colour scheme that's lifted the entire space. Total spend, £530.
Oh, isn't it lovely?
I want you to tell me one thing straight away that you've noticed.
Well, I've noticed more light because there's no enormous coffin of a fridge freezer there.
Inspired by the stylish and contemporary garden they visited, they've bought some garden furniture to establish their own seating area. Unfortunately, they didn't pay extra for assembly.
I've had lots of problems in the past with flat pack furniture.
I have to say, I wouldn't be any better at the flat pack. I have as much patience as he does with this.
I could definitely imagine now having a
Nice afternoon drink.
Finally, a few finishing touches are placed in.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been really hard work, but it's been worth it in the long run.
From an overgrown wilderness to a clean and fully functional garden, the most valuable of London property assets was lost, and it's now been cleared, tuffed and furnished, revealing a fantastic space to be enjoyed and appreciated all year round. At a cost of £986.
You two are bonkers. This has been here all this time, and you've never done anything about it.
Has been lost to us for many, many years, and well, actually, we've never had it. So no.
This was underneath, wasn't it, all along?
Yeah,
this was already here. But you know what? What a brilliant asset now.
Yeah, it is.
Agent can come back, take a picture of this. Sorted. It's all grown up. And there's space.
Yeah, there is.
And you've continued the theme through there.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I think it's brilliant, actually. I wasn't sure on how much colour, but it looks a lot better.
So all in all, you've spent double the amount. Yeah. So we gave you £1,000. Yeah. You've hit 2,000. But what a difference!
Yeah, massive difference.
It really is.
Yeah.
Do you think you've enhanced your chances of selling?
Undoubtedly.
Have to have.
We have to have, because this place is it was nice before, but it is quite special now. So
really special.
Yeah.
Well done, the pair of you. Brilliant job.
And the tired plant box is ditched in favour of a smart new bay tree to complement the now spotless exterior.
Ah, the demise of the dead window box.
It's gone.
I'm assuming that this outside bit was your job, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think this was my one contribution to the process.
Now you've carried out the changes to the exterior of the property, can you see the difference it's made?
Yeah, definitely. It was things we hadn't noticed before.
No.
Whereas now, standing here, you can see, right, well, there is nothing to put anybody off, and actually it does look much fresher and nicer.
You've done a really, really good job. I am dying to see the living room.
Yep, can.
You lead the way.
Their living room has gone from bland and uninviting to bright and welcoming.
It's a different room. Oh, I love it. Oh, wow. What a difference.
I'm so pleased.
I love it. I'm really, really pleased.
What's made such a difference is the paper, isn't it? And I think people are so frightened about using wallpaper. But actually, when you look at it, it's gorgeous.
I thought, oh, well, you know, that's what we've been told to do. We'll put up with it. Hopefully it'll sell the house.
Yeah.
But I'm buying that wallpaper for my next house.
And you've got rid of the big, really expensive, heavy red curtains.
As soon as they came down, the room felt better.
Felt bigger and lighter.
I think it looks fantastic. Really, really good. Well done, you guys.
Thank you.
Should we do it?
Yep.
Okay. Have a look. Don't judge a book by its cover. Get inside the pages and then judge it. Come look.
And starting with that bland to bright sitting room. This is one of those houses that I think, as a family house, works brilliantly. You've got 3 bedrooms upstairs and the family bathroom, kitchen, diner, living room here. So this is kind of the main hub of the house, I guess.
Yeah, it's a really nice space.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. It's kind of decorated sort of how I would probably have it anyway, really.
Perfect. So you, for me, this is the no-brainer. It's the move straight in and start living. I'm hoping a look at the bedrooms will help Rebecca see what a great family home this is. So you've got your 3 bedrooms. This is obviously the baby's room. Not the biggest room in the house, but I think that it works really well as a nursery.
Yes, the space inside is lovely. Really, really do like it inside.
How does it compare to all the other properties you've seen?
It's certainly more spacious, but it's not as pretty.
It's not as cute.
No.
Yeah. Initially, this was on at 437, and it's now been reduced to 425.
Okay.
Do you think, because I know you've seen a lot of properties around here, do you think that's a reasonable price for this house?
Yeah, definitely. I'm surprised actually that it's on for that amount, not more.
It's definitely given her something to think about.
Now, this is the wild card because it has no parking, which I know you wanted, and you're going to think I've gone crazy. This is the house.
Okay. I have actually seen this house before.
Excellent. And you discounted it because of the parking?
And there's quite a small garden.
The garden, I think, has transformed.
Right.
So I do want you to see it, and I want you to bear with me because I think that this is a great interim house for you, which I know is something that you said it's not the forever house. Yeah. So bear with me. Come and have a look again. I am going to find a house in a minute that you've not seen, I hope, but come and have a look. Has it changed much since the last time you saw it?
It wasn't furnished when I saw it, and I think having furniture in a house can help.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
Imagine living in it. It feels cosier.
Well, come and have a look upstairs because they've done the same upstairs and see what you think of the bedroom.
A promising start. Now to the once dated to contemporary bedroom.
Remember this from the last time you were in here?
I do. But it
the
feels...
wallpaper?
Was it quite imposing wallpaper?
Yes, that's one way of putting it.
It's definitely better now the bed's in here because it wasn't last time I saw it, so you can definitely see just sort of what will fit and what won't.
Yeah. Right, garden?
Yes.
This is my last chance to impress, the empty to dressed garden.
This was what put you off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And does it still put you off?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It looks lovely. I mean, it'd be perfect for young professionals.
It would
I
have been
think.
perfect for you before you'd had your child, wouldn't it?
It would.
Never mind, never mind. Well, it was worth trying. I mean, I think it's a great house, and I have a feeling he's going to sell it very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's a lovely house, and
Just
it's in a
not for you.
fabulous location. It's just
Right.
really not for us.
Let's go and look at the last one.
Okay. I really like it. I think it's really pretty.
So come and have a look, and we'll see how we go.
First stop, it's the clutter-free contemporary conservatory.
I like this room because it's so open and you can see into the lovely garden.
Well, look, this is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The garden was the big thing for you,
Yes.
wasn't it? And parking. So you've got parking for at least, 4 cars there, and a brilliant, brilliant space. The other thing about the house is that it's well within your budget. You've got a budget of $450, that's maximum, isn't it? So this one's on at $375, which means you've got 75 grand to play with.
So far, so good. On to the once tired, now revamped bathroom.
This obviously is the main bathroom and it's downstairs.
Yes.
But what do you think of the size and the way it looks?
I mean, it's a good sized bathroom, definitely. It's nice and clean and the tiles are nice.
Upstairs, it's the corridor to clean-lined bedroom.
So master bedroom, pretty, isn't it?
It is. It's very big.
Because it's so big and because it's so long, you could easily section it off. I'm sort of thinking that you knock through there and create this as the bedroom and then have this as your bathroom.
Absolutely what I was thinking, yeah. I really like this house. I really do like it. And it does have a really nice homely feel to it. And we could make it exactly how we want it to be.
What are your first impressions?
Looks interesting, actually. It's just that it's got a bit of character.
Yeah. And in terms of the parking, are you okay with it?
I'm a bit concerned about the road, actually.
Right.
The noise of the traffic.
What, like that?
Yeah, like that, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Not a great start. Let's get inside quick. First, that cladded shed to clean conservatory.
Come through to the hub of the house. This is your kitchen stroke diner. Initial impressions are?
I'd have to have it cleared.
You'd like it all knocked through?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The good thing about this space is just that. It's a good space. It's big. It's on the market at £345,000. Your budget is £365, so you've got 20 grand to play about with. There are lots of things you could do with this space. You could take that whole unit out there, put a bank of units that side, bank of units that side, which would free up the space and not make it feel separated.
Could do, yeah.
She doesn't look convinced. Let's hope the garden impresses more.
So I know that the garden is an important factor for you,
Yes,
isn't
it is, yeah.
Is this a manageable size or is it still too big?
No, this is manageable.
What do you think of it?
No, it's very nice, actually. It's quite secluded, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
The garden's just right, actually.
So the garden gets a tick?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Excellent, excellent.
Seems Cherry's warming to the place. Let's head upstairs to that once canary yellow study, now a chilled-out bedroom.
This is your guest bedroom stroke office. Brilliant views of the garden and the fact that you can look out onto...
It's very nice. I wasn't expecting that.
Ah!
Oh, it's lovely, actually.
Something that you imagined from the outside? Because I know from the outside you weren't taken at all, were you?
I didn't have any idea what it was like inside because I didn't give it a chance, I guess. Thought, no, it wouldn't be for me, you see.
So this is the right sort of size?
It is, yes.
OK. Food for thought.
I'm hoping Carol's bungalow on a quiet road will impress. And first, it's that tired to tranquil sitting room.
So what you have here is your living room stroke conservatory.
This is very nice.
Do you like it?
I do like it.
Can you see the garden through all the rain?
Just
It's
about.
a good-sized garden. It's south-facing as well.
Yeah, oh, well, lovely.
What do you like about the space?
It just feels nice as you walk in. It's open, which is what I like. And obviously it's very light and airy and it's got a nice feel to it.
With positivity flowing, it's onto the from red to relaxing boudoir.
It's a dead-end road, so you're not going to get traffic constantly going past unless, obviously, people live here. And you do have off-road parking for at least 3 cars.
Yes,
there.
it's a very big drive, isn't it?
What do you think of the room?
It's a very nice-sized room.
Isn't it? Excellent. Oh, very good. Very good. So as we continue the tour, is your excitement gaining momentum or is it waning?
I'm getting a bit excited, yeah.
So am I. So am I. How excited? Is it what you had in mind?
I not really looked round a bungalow properly. This is very nice, actually. Good. Yeah. Good. No, it is.
And one last room to show her, the damp to desirable spare room.
So this is the spare bedroom, which I think is really lovely. What do you think?
It's very nice.
It's a pretty room, isn't it?
It is a pretty room, yeah. The location of the road is the only thing that kind of doesn't tick the box. Everything else is fantastic.
It's working out what thing you can afford to compromise on, I guess.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Okay.
So it's the road again, but this time I think she might be able to live with it.
So here we go, Cherry. First impressions?
Looks very nice.
Uh-huh. Excellent. You've got your off-road parking.
Yes.
And you've got enough space easily for 2 cars here.
Yep, wonderful.
Should we go in? Because I'm really cold.
Yes.
First, the sitting room that's gone from dated to contemporary style.
Do you like the decor? Do you like? Is there much you would do to change it?
Yeah, probably. But basically, you know, the old
Pretty
magnolia.
neutral,
It's all right, isn't it?
Yes. Now, it's not the biggest garden in the world, but I don't think that's a bad thing for you, is it?
No, that's okay. It's a courtyard garden, isn't it?
Yeah. How does it compare to the others?
And it's very different, isn't it? Pretty.
Yeah.
And the garden, as I can see it would be perfect.
I like it. Yes. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving.
Upstairs, the master bedroom has gone from stuck in the past to simple and clean.
Oh, you can smell the paint when you come in here.
I say. Oh, this is very nice, actually.
The beauty of this house is that it's got 3 decent-sized bedrooms. Your budget's £365,000. This is on the market at 299,950. So you've effectively got 65 grand to play around with. Could be like Buckingham Palace by the time you finish with it. Yeah. If you'd seen this on the website, or if you'd gone into an agent's and they'd given you these details, would you have discarded it, or would you have come and looked at it?
I possibly would have discarded it. This is a surprise, definitely.
A spanner has been thrown in the works then, hasn't it?
It has a bit.
Shall we retire to somewhere and have a think about it all? How you go? I think this is a great house for the money and for what you could do with it. Initial first impressions?
Yeah, it looks fine from the outside. Is it half over?
Yeah, half over as well. Yeah, it's not the narrowest house in Great Britain. Okay. Should we get inside and have a look?
Yeah, sure.
Outside, OK. Inside, I hope the refreshed dining room will delight.
It's a dining room.
Yeah, nice. I like the floorboards. Floorboards are good. It's good there's a table in here.
If it was me, I would take the whole of the back of this elf and make one enormous kitchen dining space. Yeah. Would you take on an entire build project?
You know, if the price was right and there's money left, then yes.
He liked the revamped period features. Time to head upstairs, which is home to the guest bedroom and that now neutralised master bedroom.
Initial impressions?
Yeah, no, that's the main bathroom.
That's the only bathroom,
okay.
Yeah.
Like the wallpaper.
Oh, excellent.
It's nice.
So this is sort of, I think both this room and the room that you've seen downstairs are the 2 that will really give you an idea of what you could do with this property.
Okay.
What do you think your girlfriend would think?
I think quite like this.
And your shirt matches the walls.
Yeah, I'll blend it nicely, yeah.
It's a sign. Go into the bathroom and we'll see whether it matches the bathroom.
Into the now bright and modern bathroom.
Size-wise?
Yeah, fine.
Is it, much you would change here?
Not really, I think. Bathroom, shower bath.
You're a bloke, aren't you?
Yeah. So
get in, have a wash, get out. How much do you think this is on the market for?
It's tricky. 2 beds, I'm thinking 350.
Not bad. 359,950.
359,950.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the right price? Do you think this is?
I don't know. It's a difficult one, if I'm completely honest, because you spend 50,000 on it, you put a nice bedroom upstairs. I don't know what the top would be on the market for a 3-bed.
Yeah. Potential. Food for thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Let's move on.
Tim can clearly see the potential in Caroline's terrace.
Initial impressions?
Yeah, it looks good. It's a lot bigger than the last one.
Much bigger. It's got everything that you've asked for in terms of bedrooms, garden, space.
Okay.
Should we get in and have a look?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great start. Inside, let's hope the freshly decorated open-plan lounge diner impresses.
So this is a much bigger
Wow, much bigger. Yeah.
concept.
Love the fireplace.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's good.
I know you said that you wanted a period property. Was 50s the sort of thing you were looking for?
Yeah, I don't think we had anything. I think just sort of real new builds were probably not what we were looking for.
Right.
But in terms of the exact period, pretty flexible.
Is this more what you had in mind?
I think so, definitely.
Ah, looking good so far.
Yeah, very good.
Kitchen?
Yep.
After you.
The classic period features hit the spot. Now for the bright and colourful refurbished kitchen.
Decor-wise, is this the sort of decor that you're looking for?
What I like about it is that you don't have to do anything.
No.
You could just move straight in, you know, a bit of paint,
Yeah.
paint decorating, but that's not going to cost much. No, it ticks all the boxes, which is good.
What do you think it's on the market for?
I think 4, 5, something like that.
450.
450.
Yeah. Food for thought.
Definitely food for thought.
The price was a pleasant surprise, and this property ticked all of Tim's boxes.
I don't think I've completely lost my mind.
Right, okay.
Because I know you said you didn't want an apartment.
Okay.
But this is a very special apartment.
Okay, it's a good location.
It's a great, I mean, 2 minutes from the train station, which is where you want to be. This is your preferred location, isn't
absolutely,
it?
yeah.
It also comes with outside space.
Good.
However, and here's the however,
Okay.
you have to access it down the side.
Down the side alley and into the ex-jungle, and now garden we go.
Garden space.
Okay, it's good size when you're here. Do you get much sun?
Yeah, you do get
Yeah.
sun, and what's lovely about this is that it's quite secluded. I know you wanted direct access. Is that a compromise that you're willing to make or not?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it just depends. We have to see what the place is like inside.
It's the garden Tim wanted, but it all hinges on the now luxurious master bedroom suite.
Ah, nice.
Do you like the decor in here? Would you change much about it?
No, I like this. I think it's good.
Good. Huge bathroom, dressing
Crikey,
room.
right, okay. Yeah, it's clean, it's modern. It's got a nice feel about it. You know, it's definitely that modern, contemporary feel. It's that compromise. You know, I think in reality we want to be in the close location to the train station, but maybe the budget doesn't quite get as the house.
Which brings me neatly on to price.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think probably 450 at the top of the budget.
No, 435.
435. Okay, yeah, I thought it would have been a bit more than that, actually, 'cause it's been done out really nicely.
Well, it's been an interesting day, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
We've seen 3 very different properties. So out of the 3, which was your least favourite?
It would have to be the quirky terraced house, just because of the size of the garden. I really, really love the house.
So between the detached house with potential and the family townhouse, which is the sort of least favourite out of those 2, I guess?
I think the townhouse.
Okay.
I don't think I could just quite get over the exterior of it.
That makes Jan and Bill's detached house her favourite.
We could move in and make it ours, whereas there isn't really that ability with the townhouse.
The search is obviously going to continue.
It's just difficult to find that one that is worth moving for.
Yeah. Keep going. You'll get there in the end.
So sadly, Rebecca's not made an offer, but Jan and Bill's was the home she liked the most, and I'm delighted as it's a fantastic house.
Really? God,
That's good news.
That's really exciting, actually.
Yeah, I think we're going to sell now. Definitely.
Yeah, I feel much more positive, actually.
Our house is even more sellable than it was before.
I was the last of the competition.
Can't really complain too much, can I? The house looks great, so I'm happy with that.
A month later, and Julia and Chris have accepted an offer close to their asking price.
We're just delighted with everything that's been done. All of the suggestions that Amanda made, I think were really, really good suggestions. We're just delighted.
And Robin has had some good news too.
We had a flurry of viewings. A couple of days ago, someone came in with a price that I really wanted. Sold. Done. I think without Amanda visiting and giving me her advice, especially the colour schemes and the furniture, then really I'd still be here now with a monochrome property, deciding what to do with it.
Jan and Bill have had a lot of interest but have yet to accept an offer.
Which was your least favourite?
The first one. It was pleasant. It didn't really do an awful lot for me, to be perfectly honest.
So that leaves us with the bungalow. What did you like about it?
It's got everything that one would need, and the decor was quite tasteful. I thought it was really lovely.
The 3-bed semi was a bit of a gamble on my part. That was the one that I thought she's either going to love it or hate it.
I did like it, and I was very surprised. So there was the two, which are very different properties, that I like very much.
Is there a clear favourite?
Possibly the house.
Really?
Yeah, it's very open.
Just a
and I think things can be done with it, you know? I like the house.
What are you going to do?
I'd like to come back and see both of them and hopefully bring my daughter.
Keep me informed.
I
I
will
shall
let
nip out and buy a
I'll
welcome
let
to your
you
new
know.
home card.
So Peter and Pauline's place is Cherry's first choice.
Fantastic. That's really good. We did put the effort in and it's paid off. We're really, really pleased.
Really
That's
tough.
great.
But it's a photo finish with Carol's bungalow.
Well, it's been worthwhile with all this hard work. I'm pleased, actually. Also, it's given me a lot more confidence when other buyers come round.
Despite coming last, Ian and Janice are bullish in defeat.
Bit gutted because of the amount of work we put in.
Plenty more fish in the sea.
Yeah.
It's perfect for the right buyer, stroke buyers when they come along.
Should we adjourn and
Sounds
start
good.
doing the old pros and cons list?
Sounds good to me.
After you.
Ooh, I think this is going to be a close one.
Big old day. Lots and lots of different properties. Thought I'd keep you on your toes.
Done that. You've definitely done that.
Very different styles, very different types of properties. So let's go through them one at a time and see
Okay.
where we're at. So we'll start with the 1920s terrace.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Nice. It's a nice property. Got a lot of potential. I think personally for us, as a couple looking, I think probably it's too much work.
Okay, the 1950s house sort of threw you a wee bit, didn't it? Because I think you weren't expecting that in that area.
Yeah, if I'm honest, that was a pleasant surprise. I can't really fault the house too much. Maybe the garden, if it was south-facing, absolutely would be a bit picky. But it's got everything else on the list.
Then I threw an enormous curveball by showing you something that you didn't even want to look at, an apartment. But
It's a very nice apartment.
and it was in the great
It's a
location.
very, very nice apartment. The location is exactly where we want to be. If you could pick the second house up we saw,
Yep.
put it in that location.
Add an extra 150, 200 grand.
Yeah, apart from that bit, it'd be
Apart from that
absolutely
bit.
perfect.
Okay, so the location
That'd be the
was
dream
right.
place in that location.
Would you compromise, though? Is the apartment nice enough?
I don't think it's the apartment. I think the direct access to the outside garden is probably the deal breaker for that.
Okay. So where does that leave you? Will you go back and look at any of them? Have you discounted all of them? Is it...
I think the second property is the one I'm definitely the most interested in.
Okay.
think-
Second visit, bring the missus?
Yeah, I think definitely.
Good luck with everything.
On reflection, Cherry decided not to second view either house and her search continues. But great news for Peter and Pauline, who 5 days later accepted an offer of just under the asking price.
We're going to take what we've learned to our new property. We bought a little bungalow down the coast. We're going to bring that into the 21st century, the same as this one.
Pleased all round.
Carol is also pleased. Just 1 week later, she too has sold.
We had a couple come round and they loved it and put in an offer. So all the hard work that went into it has paid off tenfold, and I'm just so thrilled.
Ian and Janice have had viewings, but no firm offers yet. Despite having his mind open to new property options, David's 1950s semi had everything on Tim's list.
No. Oh, I'm well chuffed.
That's like amazing.
Well chuffed.
Oh.
Well, the other rival sellers may have to swallow the bitter pill of disappointment this time, but they should all take comfort in how they've transformed their properties and increased the saleability of their homes.
Yeah, no, it does make me feel disappointed. I did really think that we were in with a chance, because I think it looks absolutely amazing.
No, not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, but, you know, it is what it is.
A few weeks on, David has had some very good news.
We had 3 full asking price offers, after which the estate agent went back to them and asked them for a final bid, if you like. And once we had the 3 final offers in, we chose the one that we thought would be the easiest to help us to move to our new property.